Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about Love and Marriage Detroit, Season 2, Episode 1.
I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment. We are back with Season 2. We did Season 1. Check out that playlist. This was during our beginning days of starting this channel. Hopefully we be better this time. You ready to walk us through this?
I'm ready.
Let's go.
So we start with Brandon and Kristina.
Okay, I remember their names kind of.
They are separated. So Brandon comes into the house with his laundry. After the reunion, Kristina discovered that Brandon was contemplating divorce, so he had to go. Kristina tells him that she has a lot of peace right now. Brandon just doesn't think that she's happy. Kristina didn't know who he was anymore, and Brandon felt that he was being attacked, and he looked at her as an enemy. He wasn't the husband that she imagined, and he could feel that. And he wanted her to love him for who he actually was, not who she wanted him to become.
Okay.
So Kristina said, a lot of times you said, take it or leave it. This is who I am. And she was just trying to make her marriage work.
Yeah.
Brandon talks about how day one of marriage, everything changed. And Christina's like, if we're really going to talk about it at our wedding, you was looking at people's bodies, talking about it over with your boys and being really disrespectful at the wedding.
Wait a minute.
So at first Brandon is trying to act like, no, that didn't happen. And then he's like, well, most women know guys are going to look, and he didn't know it was that blatant. So I'm just like, so clearly you knew what you was doing. Brandon tells her, if he comes back, they both need to do the work. Kristina agrees, but she asks what's going to be different this time. And he says that he is here because God says for him to be here.
Wow.
And Kristina's like, you're only here because God wants you here. She, respects and understands that they need to be obedient. But for her to know that her husband doesn't really want to be in the house is heartbreaking to her. So she is tired of this roller coaster. She's scared of getting hurt. And Brandon's response to that is, you pray every day, right? He's like, we've got unfinished business and we're not living up to what we're supposed to be.
Yeah. And
she tells him he still can't come back home yet.
Let's start from the beginning. I remember their names.
Yes.
Brandon and Kristina. Everybody else, and I know Man Movement Anthony.
Yes.
Right. They are separated as Blair let us know, and he's come over. He don't live there, but he comes over with his laundry.
Yeah.
Not even in a bag. Just here. Just take the laundry. I don't know a lot of women who would still wash their estranged husband clothes or things like that. But this is a conversation. While I was talking to my wife while watching the show, they had a conversation about nothing. Absolutely nothing. It was a long scene of basically talking about how he was looking at boot, and it's crazy because I'm like, on your wedding day?
Yeah.
Who were you were you talking about her friends? Well, you talk about
her cousins? Whose booty was you looking at?
I need to know who he was talking about because everybody in the pew is your family.
Exactly.
So I need to know who booty were you looking at. You get what I'm saying? So basically, I hope it was her side of the family, but even then, I will hope you knew them already. And then to find time to actually do that at your wedding is very intentional because even at our wedding, I was tired and things like that. I could tell you who was there by the list.
Yeah.
But going around to everybody is kind of
it was a blur.
It's kind of hard. But I will say, Brandon ain't gonna change. Brandon's not going to change because I don't even know what he needs to change to outside of he needs to have you ever found somebody who is wrong in so many areas and the only advice you could tell them just be better.
Just be a better person.
Yeah,
be a decent person.
Yeah, and,
don't even be
and
good.
that's I can't pinpoint how bad he is as a husband, but it's just overall you're just not good.
Yeah.
And you need to be better and things like that. What do you think about this whole first scene and things of that nature? Him saying you pray every day, right?
Yeah.
You know how he is.
This is why I feel like nothing's going to change between them.
Yeah.
Because they have no real actionable items that they're talking about working and fixing. They are away from each other. And it seems like time is just passing them by.
Yeah.
And they're talking about when we get together, we need to work on things. What does that actually look like? What exactly is the problem?
Yeah.
From last season, we could see, that Brandon was not very communicative with Kristina. He would hide things from her so that way he wouldn't have to explain himself or get into arguments. So that was an issue. But Kristina, interesting how she operates in her friendship. She lacks accountability.
Yes.
She is not a very good communicator. And I feel like if there's an issue, I feel like in her marriage, she approaches the issue, but I feel like she brushes off anything that she could do to participate or improve the situation. Now, let me put it like this. If there's like a 70-30 type of outweighing of who's got more fault in the situation, I definitely feel like it's Brandon.
I'll probably go 75-88.
Okay. Because I'm just kind of like, I feel like Brandon, like he said, like he looked at his wife like an enemy. Like he does not want to be around that lady.
He don't
like,
love her. Yeah, he
don't want to be around that lady. He don't want to hear what she has to say. He'd rather walk home than be in a car with her half the time. So I'm like, if you really don't want to be around her that much, like maybe you should leave. Like y'all. I'll talk about it more when he gets around his mom. But I'm just like, this isn't looking good.
Help me. Next scene.
So we move on to Kolby and Russell. They go to her ultrasound appointment. She's pregnant with their second child.
Congrats.
They don't want to know the gender yet. Russell is thinking it's a boy. Kolby would like it to a boy and like it to be a boy, but she couldn't imagine having another girl. Their daughter is very much a daddy's girl, and she just wants somebody to show her that same type of love.
Okay.
So we learned that she was actually devastated when they found out that they were having a girl. And Russell talks about trying, for the boy, maybe the third time around if necessary.
I wonder this, and please, we definitely have some people who comment who are older than us and who are more experienced. I always heard this term of like, whenever like you're pregnant and things like that, of course the baby's in you before you really know that like you're pregnant, before it's confirmed rather.
Right.
Like, can babies really feel that energy? You get what I'm saying? Like, she's talking about how much her daughter is a daddy's girl, but when you find out that you was pregnant with a girl, you was devastated.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I wonder when it comes, and trust me, I'm not an energy person. I don't got rocks in the house. Rocks belong outside and things like that. But like, I just wonder with Kolby, like, do sometimes your attitude and your energy towards things kind of dictate how things turn out? Like, I wonder if you kind of change the way you look at things.
That's a fair question.
I wonder if you just change the way you look at things.
You might approach it
different. Which may give you a different result. Hopefully, we will see some of that in season 2. I feel like we're doing a good job, man.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we're doing a good job.
Good job.
I hope people watch.
Okay.
I really do.
Well, either way, we're having fun.
Yeah. Well,
so,
I'm okay.
Okay. So Brandon is staying at his mom's house. He tells his mom that they are taking some time apart to figure things out.
Yeah.
He's hoping that he won't be there much longer. And he tells his mom that they are not going to get a divorce. And mom tells him straight up, look, your dad didn't want a divorce. I did.
Yeah.
And Brandon feels like he is a project to his wife. He has moments where he feels that they are incompatible. And mom was like, you probably could stand to change some things, like helping around the house.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if that's really it. And she's like, I speak from experience.
Uh-oh.
You can help around the house.
Uh-oh.
And she was like, I'm just like your dad. He didn't help around the house. And I felt like I was taking care of another child in the house. And she's like, nobody wants to do that. Brandon talks about how he pays all the bills and all she has to worry about is taking care of the house.
Okay.
But he says he does help take care of the house, but ultimately he wasn't prepared to be married. They married 6 months after meeting. He really didn't have a desire to be married. Kristina wasn't going to have sex before marriage. So he said, well, let's hurry up this marriage thing so I can hit.
So I can hit that. You heard him.
But he thinks that if they would have dated longer, they probably wouldn't have been together. Well, he doesn't want to be miserable. He feels like if they were to divorce, she would move to Buffalo with the kids and he would end up having a long distance relationship with his children, which he doesn't want to do. But at this point, he's also willing to fight for Kristina.
Give us part 2 of your diatribe, Blair.
Yeah, I guess additionally, I just feel like, I guess I got to say the same thing over again. Like, y'all are separated, but y'all aren't doing anything.
Okay.
Like, you aren't in therapy. Like, there's nothing y'all are really working on. Y'all are just not in the same house. And I don't know how they expect to come together and for something to be different if they're not actually like communicating, focusing on the issues and working on the issues. And, for the mom to even say like, yeah, like you have your problems, you have your faults. These are things you can improve on. And for his immediate reaction to be like, no, that's not it. And it's just kind of like, okay, well, can anybody give you any type of feedback? Your mom can't even give you feedback and you listen and process that to really save your marriage. I think Brandon is just waiting around until Kristina gets tired and just tells him he can come back so they can start the same cycle over again. So
I don't know if you remember in season 1, I think him and his mother didn't have the most mother and son relationship.
No.
And now I'm trying to wonder why in season 2. Is it because she told the truth too much? You get what I'm saying? Is it because of her? Is it because of you? And I understand the whole idea of a white mother raising up a black son and things like that, and things that she probably had to learn through a crash course. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, your white mama know you, and she say, hey, you can help around the house. It's so simple. If you just do the little things, and I mean the little things such as help around the house, pick the littlest thing and do it. When it's time to tackle the big things, you wouldn't have to juggle the big things and the little things.
Right.
Keep your hands empty and basically ready for big things, and just put away the small things. And I find it very funny that when she offered some advice, he said, I don't think that's it, but yet he haven't offered what it is.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Basically, he's putting it on her in the sense of, like, I'm like a project to her and things like that. And I'm like, I kind of get that, because I really don't know where to start with Brandon.
Right.
Besides, do better.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Can you imagine having a teacher and they just write F on the paper and they just say do better?
Yeah.
And they don't let you know what is wrong on the paper and things like that. Brandon have so many things that's so out of pocket, that is so out of line. Even him having that client without telling his wife and things like that. And
then sharing information about his relationship with that client.
Do
like I'm
better.
just like, why are you even like crossing lines when it comes to personal and professional in that way? It's just
do better. And then on top of that, to Blair's point, to basically to say it again, there's no intentions behind his actions. So he just basically like, hopefully we get together. How about you basically make a change to where you can at least be in the house, so you don't have to travel across town to wash your drawers.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Brandon just seemed like, to like your point, he just basically let Tom get away for her to make a decision, and then so he could criticize her decision and basically make her look worse than what she already looks.
Right.
So
we meet a new couple, the Dobines.
I do not know who these people are.
They have been married for 8 years, together for 10.
Okay.
They have 2 children. She is an event planner and he works in the mortgage industry.
Okay.
So they're talking about their communication, and she feels like he needs to open up more. But, they basically also know that he's more of the listening type. She's more of the talking type. But, that's something that they're going to work on. On top of that, they have their children and they have the newborn baby, and the baby commands attention. So they both agree it's probably time for a date night or a getaway.
Okay.
So the Dobines, they end up going to visit Letitia and Anthony. They start playing like Never Have I Ever, and they're talking about how Bravo and his wife are celebrating the anniversary for their restaurant that they have.
Okay.
And so they're inviting everybody, and everybody includes Kristina and Brandon. So Kimberly knew Brandon first through like Star Factory, through the city. She ended up meeting Kristina at a fashion show, and they developed a friendship. To the point where she threw Kristina's baby shower.
Yeah.
Kristina was at her wedding. Like, they had a very close friendship and supporting each other through life's biggest moments.
Yeah.
But Kimberly said that the issue with Kristina is that there's no reciprocity, and accountability is not her strong suit.
Wow, well, we are basically with the whole Kolby and Kristina thing again as last season. And the thing that's so funny about this is I always find interesting that, how can I put it? People who always switch their best friends and things like that, and it's always lack of accountability of some sort. And the thing about it is, conflict actually grow the friendship. So I always ask the question, what type of conflict y'all had that broke the friendship?
Yeah.
Because conflict's supposed to grow relationship. How we get through it and things like that. You know what? I'm mad at you, Blair. I'm mad at you, Chris. The way you did this, Chris. The way you did that, Blair. Okay, how do we come to a resolve? What happened in the friendship, Kristina, that it broke? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. And to me,
go ahead.
Like, I feel like I've come across Kristina's in life, not a lot, but enough, to where I feel like some people take accountability as a personal attack as them as a person, and they can't fathom the thought that I did something wrong. So instead of admitting to the action or the wrongdoing, apologizing and moving forward in the relationship, they have to kind of like basically convince themselves they haven't done anything and try to gaslight you into thinking they haven't done anything, versus taking accountability for the situation so the other person feels heard and understood, and so they know that this won't happen again. I feel like Kristina, which, you know, I'm Christian, so, you know, God, the Bible, all that type of stuff, like, you know, I'm totally cool with that. But at the same time, I feel like Kristina hides behind that so she doesn't actually have to do the work of like communicating and being accountable for her actions. So in my head, I'm pretty much in belief of what Kimberly is saying because I've seen her interaction with Kolby, and I felt like it didn't have to blow up that big if Kristina would have admitted her wrongdoings and said, you know what, Kolby, I could have improved, or I could have handled this differently, and I'm sorry about that. And I feel like Kolby would have been very receptive because she wanted this bond with Kristina, but Kristina would not meet her where she was at. She refused to. And that's why I think, like I said, my theory of people who like refuse to take accountability, like they take it as like you're attacking them as a person, like them personally, there's something wrong with them, when that's not the case. Just don't do that no more.
You see now, look, it's all coming back to me because I was like, why was Kolby and Kristina mad at each other again? It was over the deal.
And that's what I'm saying. It probably don't even have to be nothing big between Kimberly and Kristina, but just the fact that Kristina didn't say I'm sorry, it's just like, I can't do this, girl.
And also, and here's the thing about it, because I want you to stay there, right?
Yeah.
As best friends, I always tell my friends, you don't never have to be humble with me. Talk about my best friends, the ones that I call my brothers and my sisters and things. You ain't ever got to humble yourself with me because you're basically family, right? How many I'm sorry's didn't she say that caused the friendship to break? Hello. Because it don't take one time. It don't take two times. It don't take thrice times. You get what I'm saying? So, and matter of fact, I like the fact that you said that, you know, and me personally, I do feel that way. I wasn't going to say it, but since we're here now. We're here now, guys. I do think she is kind of like a Bible thumper. And I think she do put that on the forefront to kind of basically make it seem like, hey, I'm the Christian in this, and that, you know what, I can't be wrong. Somebody did something to me, and I'm the one that's actually pulling back, where actually you're the one that's actually causing all the disruption. Now, here's the thing about it. I'm going to be fair. Everything Blair has said about the relationship between Kristina and not Kolby, what is the new cast member? Miss Kim, right? That was a complete opinion. Blair has no facts to support what she said about the Kristina and Kim relationship.
That is true.
She have no facts.
I'm going based off of what I've seen.
Based on what she's seen, she have no facts. Can you read to me about the next scene with Kristina and Kolby, please?
So Kristina and Kolby meet up.
Yes.
They haven't spoken since the reunion.
Stop right there. They're your facts right there. Why haven't they spoke?
Kristina hasn't reached out. However, Kolby hasn't reached out either.
But no. I'm not going to put none on Kolby right now because as the Christian girl, it's your job to actually make amends if you want to be the Bible thumper and things like that. If you want people to be friends with you, sometimes you got to be the one to reach out first. You get what I'm saying? So Kristina in this, having talked to her, they thought they made up on the set.
Yeah.
We hugged for the camera, but this is my first time hearing from you for over a year. That's what I think Kim is talking about. And the whole thing of there's no accountability. I don't get nothing back from you when I'm giving to you. So I'm like, even though Blair may have been guessing with Kim relationship, I think we can use the facts of this relationship to basically support our hypothesis. And I'm like, Kristina, you got to do better.
Yeah.
You got to do better.
And look, they hugged on the reunion stage. Kristina thought it was a genuine moment, and she was hoping that they could heal from this, but they didn't. I think for that just goes back to my theory of Kristina just lets time go by. Like, how are we going to heal it if we don't communicate? Like, she's like, I thought we would heal, but you're actually doing nothing.
And guess
no
what?
action.
And guess what? I wouldn't even say that's an opinion. That's facts. We seen it in her own personal life with Brandon. Yeah. They letting time go by. So I don't think that's an opinion. I think that's facts.
So Kolby's like, you know, I hadn't heard from you since then. And she was offended and hurt. Kolby, I feel like she's doing an amazing job at keeping her composure, because the last time we saw them have a sit down.
Yeah, Kolby was wilding a little bit.
Kolby was like hollering, screaming, all that type of stuff. Yeah, so she kept her calm.
She's pregnant too.
Right. You get what I'm saying? So she did a good job with that. So Kristina didn't reach out because she felt like Kolby was being distant. And this is the other thing.
Come on now. Come on, Blair. Get her, Blair.
She was saying she didn't feel comfortable to reach out to Kolby.
Go ahead.
Now, I don't remember the full spec by spec detail of what happened, but I remember that there was a thing between Kolby and Kristina in the last season where they were supposed to be working on some type of project together, but Kristina ended up wanting to work on the project independently instead of Kolby, like for their social medias or whatever.
Okay.
And instead of going to Kolby and communicating that that's what she wanted, she just told the creator person, I guess, that she wanted to do it independently and kind of left Kolby out in the wind. Is some type of rendition of that, of Kristina not communicating with Kolby and kind of putting it on Kolby as her being the wrong party in the situation in some type of way. And I feel like this is another example of where we were on the stage, we hugged it out, we thought we were good, but then in your head, you felt like I was being distant, so you didn't reach out to me. So still, you're choosing to not communicate.
Watch this.
And making it my fault because you felt like I was being distant.
Watch this. There's a difference between accountability and justification. I don't need justification. I need accountability. The best thing to say is not, I did not reach out because I felt like you was distant, right? It was uncomfortable. No, the right thing to say is, I apologize for not reaching out. I felt uncomfortable.
Right.
It's easier
You're putting the fault on someone else.
To take accountability first, then justify.
Yeah.
But when you only justify, then we don't hear accountability. See, it's easier because here's the trick about apology. You might get one back. You might get one back. So if you say, hey, I'm sorry I did not reach out. I should have reached out. I just felt uncomfortable. I felt uncomfortable too.
Yeah.
Like try that.
Yeah.
Bible thumper. You get what I'm saying? Like let's keep going.
So Kolby said that she was waiting for Kristina to reach out and show that she wanted to make amends. She was hurt by everything, and she felt that they had a real sisterly bond. She didn't use sister lightly.
No, come on now. We've been bashing Kristina for almost 10 minutes straight, right? I gotta give her a little bell to get out of jail.
Okay.
A little bell to get out of jail. Y'all both adults. Kolby, if you really wanted that sisterly bond, you can't put it all on her to reach out as well. I'm only attacking Kristina from the accountability standpoint, but Blair's point from the beginning was both phones work.
Yeah, the phones work both ways.
So that still stands true. You can't put 100% on that on Kristina and basically like, you really failed the sisterly bond. I really thought like, I missed that. I'd rather you try and you not reach her than for you to basically put it on her. Like, why didn't you reach out to me?
But my thing is too with Kolby, and maybe if she would have said this, then it would have made more sense or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
I would have understood if Kolby was like, I wasn't going to reach out to Kristina because Kristina likes to make me the person who's at fault for whatever issues we're going through.
Okay.
And I felt like it wasn't worth the conversation. I feel like we're on good terms, but I also felt like it wasn't worth trying to rebuild the relationship because I don't want to keep being at fault for disagreements.
I see you.
You get what I'm saying?
I was going to disagree only from the standpoint of I think she should have took the Kimberly approach then. And the whole point of, you know what? I haven't seen her in 6 years and I haven't spoken to her in 5, something like that. I know my numbers off, something like that, right? But if they really were like sisters, right? I think from your standpoint, there is a hurt factor there.
Yeah.
And there is I am kind of waiting. I'm waiting for my big sis because we just had this moment.
And she looked at her like big sis.
Exactly.
So she probably did feel like she would be the bigger person in a way.
We had this moment on camera. We hugged, we crying and things like that. And I think she eventually got to that point. I don't think it was like that in the beginning.
Yeah.
I think in the beginning she probably was waiting, but eventually she was like, you know what? This is the same old Kristina.
And it's probably not.
Exactly.
So Kristina tells her, look, I can't fight with you. Like, I can't fight with my husband, my friends, my sisters at the same time. And Kolby doesn't dig deep into that to try to figure out what's going on. She thought, Kristina and her husband were on good terms. But she's like, look, I'm pregnant. I ain't got the capacity. If she's not telling me, I ain't digging. So Kolby understands. She goes through things. Colby's like, I go through things in my own household as well.
Yeah.
But she's in a space to where, she's prioritizing peace. And, basically, we're going to get to wherever we get to eventually. So,
yeah. And this conversation was about nothing too. Because she just basically said, I can't fight with you and I can't fight with my friends. And well, it seems like you're fighting with everybody.
Yeah.
It seems like you're the common denominator and things like that. Who's on your side? Who is there for Kristina? And I wonder, usually, and unfortunately, like, I'm sorry, I know my wife hates when I say this, but tears don't move me. Somebody could be crying in my face and I would just look at the facts and say, but you're wrong. Like the emotions don't move me in that way. So I think Kristina is trying to get some emotional rally of basically like, look at what I'm going through. And I think Kolby slapped her back in reality of, hey, we're adults. We all go through things, right? So don't try to make it all about you of, I can't fight you. I can't fight my friends. I can't fight my husband. Hey, we live in Detroit. We all fighting.
Okay.
Dude, you get what I'm saying? So I like Kolby's response to that. But like my whole thing is, if you ain't gonna say it, don't say it. I ain't gonna dig either. I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're at the anniversary party for the restaurant.
Okay.
Brandon and Kristina walk in hand in hand, and they're just like, look, people don't need to know that we're separated.
You did not like that, Blair.
I was just like, who are they putting on for? Like, it's the weirdest thing to me. Like, yes, you're right. People don't need to know the inner workings of your relationship. But for y'all to walk in hand, that is a decision to come across different than how you are. It's one thing to walk in. It's just like, hey, we both agree. We're going to show up to this thing. We're going to come in and do whatever we need to do. But y'all are putting on.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting on to make it seem like things are what they're not. And like I said, you don't need to tell people what's going on in your relationship, but you're trying to make it seem like y'all are on better terms than you're not. And I'm just like, who are you proving this to?
Yeah. And I disagree with that statement of people don't need to know your situation. These are not random people.
Yeah, they're supposed to be their friends.
These are supposed to be your close friends who y'all celebrated your anniversary with, when all of y'all was in that picnic sitting down and things of that nature. And so this is supposed to be your village, right? These are supposed to be your help whenever you need help and things like that. So to walk in hand, it just shows that both of y'all liars. Both of you. So just off of that alone, that already makes me look at you in the light of, I can't really trust what you say, or you even taking accountability for where y'all at currently in your own life because y'all walking in hand.
Right.
And then using the excuse of, it's none of y'all business. I thought we was a village.
I'm just like, y'all off a show.
First of all, the fact that y'all was invited to celebrate this anniversary, it shows that, first of all, I haven't even talked to y'all since the reunion, that we are close.
Yeah.
We are like that. And I'm not trying to break the fourth wall of basically saying we all of like, we all work for the show. But I'm like, y'all are selling us that y'all are a village, that y'all are together. And to say that, like, nobody don't need to know my personal business. Well, don't walk in hand.
But I will say this. I think that it probably is beneficial if you're around people you love and trust to kind of let them in a little bit, because it might possibly help you save your relationship.
Yes.
But I will say that they're not on good terms with a lot of these people. Really, Kristina and Brandon's fault for a lot of it, to be honest. But if they were on better terms, I feel like they should open their relationship. Like, if we're thinking about, because we watch all these reality shows like Married to Medicine, when Dr. Simone and Cecil were going through their things,
she was tripping, boy.
Their castmates really helped save their marriage, and it's because all of them were married and like felt the importance of a union and felt that they should fight for it. And I feel like latoya, Kolby, Russell, like all these people here, I think that they really would be a good support system for them if they would stop being so fake,
Yeah.
So Anthony, and this is another reason too, Anthony's talking about he ain't feeling Kristina's jacket.
Man movement Anthony. I'm
just like, yeah, I can't fault y'all for not wanting to tell Anthony. He's irritating. So everyone is there except for Russell. He has some schooling to do. He's going to be a minister. Kim walked right in with her husband. She walked right by Kristina, didn't even speak to her. But she greeted everybody else, and that is where we end.
What are your thoughts on this season so far? What do you expect from this season?
It seems interesting so far, and I think Kim is going to be a good addition. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, it'd be nice to see somebody call Kristina out on her BS. I think that Kolby did it last year, but because she was so emotional, I felt like she didn't try to hold Kristina accountable.
Yeah.
But I think that Kim is going to do that this season.
Yeah.
So
I hope I'm gonna focus on Kolby a little bit. I hope Kolby isn't the type to complain about everything. and actually see the bright side of situations. And because I think I saw one preview to where the husband basically like, I'm doing everything I can to bust my behind, and I don't want Kolby to give off the like nothing is good enough, because she kind of leaning towards that in season 1. Okay. So I don't want her to be the wife that complains about everything. You get what I'm saying? Kristina is definitely getting the villain arc. I know callers don't like this type of stuff. The villain edit. You get what I'm saying? Of the show. But my thing is, listen here. I can't put something on the camera that's not there.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Unless it's AI. But my thing is with Kristina has shown herself to be consistent in having like fallouts with her friends and not taking accountability. One sorry can fix all of this. And it don't even have to basically repair it to where we back to where we was in the beginning, but it can really like, at least when Kimberly walks in, you should at least get a hi.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But if somebody not even willing to say hi to you while filming with you, that just lets me know like y'all, there hasn't been no type of like agreement to like apologize for anything.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I need y'all to watch the show. I need y'all to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. We see y'all soon. I don't know when, but soon. Y'all be good.
Bye.